Hello everybody. Welcome to Companion Soft Talk, where we are approaching industry-specific topics. I'm Agnė Pelanienė, head of Dynamics 365 business unit for enterprise, and with me today we have Vita Zeniauskė, head of project management and business development.
Hi Agnė. So talking about Dynamics world, we are currently in cloud adoption era, starting from 2016. This has been a hot topic for Microsoft customers and partners, right?
Surprisingly still, and the statistics is not very nice, I would say, because if we would check test worldwide, about only 35% of the customers who had previous solutions of IX are on D365. And if we would check on the new implementations, there are countries who implement cloud only 10 or 20% of the customers, and others go on-prem.
Why do you think that we have such a small proportion of companies moving to cloud?
Cloud brings quite a lot of innovation, and everybody knows. So like very hot topic of AI, less care about the infrastructure, more capabilities around the data and apps and so on. Quite a number of customers are still very resistant, and quite a lot of questions are asked, like what is the difference in functionalities, how it would affect integrations, and what would be expensive, not expensive, is it valid, what would happen with the house infrastructure, how the role of administrators will change, how they will reach the servers if something will happen, will the data be approachable, how it will change cost of implementation, how the team has to be retrained, and so forth and so on. Yes, it's new technology, but it looks like the change is not happening mostly because of fear of change, rather than technology.
So I understand that we need to think about how to overcome that change, right? How to manage it.
Yes.
What is important always to understand, I would like to step back a bit, that most of the time one of the issues that companies have is that they equalize change management and project management, which is not the case. With project management that we do to our partners or inside of the company, you are oriented to the delivery. While when you talk about the change management, it's about all people behaviors. If in cloud adoption process we have a situation that people are against the change or afraid of the change, then a project communication plan is not enough. You need to have a very dedicated leadership to work on those fears, to maybe find the groups of informal leaders that can come in and influence the opinions of the rest of the organization and make sure that that people can find the positivity in the change, right? And another thing, of course, you need to always make sure that that communication works, across the company, and it's continuous, and you have certain channels used there. So if we would apply that, would that help to change the dynamics in cloud adoption?
Yes, you are right. So as always, communication the key. So as from your experience, would we have any tips and tricks for our partners actually how to empower the customers and how to adapt the communication better?
I think I have 3 tips. So one that I mentioned, that I would really encourage to look those influencers. If they don't have those people, or those leaders, those informal leaders are actually the ones that are with the disbelief, well, then you are in trouble. What you need to do then, you definitely need to have personal then interviews and workshops to understand each and everybody's fears, and to explain how their potential ways of working might be impacted. That is heavy work. That's why I'm always saying project team normally is not capable to cover that. Therefore, you need a bigger group and involvement from the organization. Second, which is most of the time, I have been in project management and change management path for over a decade. And most of the time when you see a change, there you always get, some super exciting announcement about a change in the beginning. and super rewarding message that we were very good and we delivered the change. Meanwhile, the middle part, the communication about the progress, what are the roadblocks that are we having, how the change is going, and so on and so on, it's not happening. So, and most of the time that's why people don't have the buy-in. So what is important that you have a very good plan, thinking about the different groups of people to have verbal communication, written communication, because different groups of people understand different ways of communication, right? So that's why I'm saying that this is one of the most important parts, because in some of the companies it's very noticeable. They come in with the good news and then they end with the good news. But what happened in between, many people tend to either hide or forget to talk about. And the final one, which is very basic, most of us know about that, but most of the time we forget, is to tell why we need that change from the employee standpoint, not from the organization, because I care about myself, not about the company normally, right? How we gonna achieve it? So that's a known part, right? To eliminate the unknown part from how my life gonna change with the cloud adoption, for example, and what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So I think these are the three main tips. They sound very simple, but in reality it takes a lot of effort to achieve them.
To summarize, it's actually not the technology is an issue.
No.
So, and always people implement technology and people use technology, and it's for the people and about the people. And as normally we're already noticing that technology changes the culture, changes behaviors, changes people's habits in the company. And as you mentioned, yes, it's about each and every one that is going to be using the system, rather about the complexity of technology implementation itself. And what statistics actually saying, that if people have buy-in, so the success of implementation projects about 95%. But if we forget to involve people in the change, the success criteria is only 15%. So its actual numbers are talking for themselves, and I believe in most of the podcasts or leadership training and so on, we hear so much how people are the most important asset of the company. Nevertheless, at every project, as you said, we're talking about the change at the beginning, and then we say we implemented it. So what does it mean for every employee? It means that on Monday they got an invitation to the training, on the Tuesday they came to the training, and on Wednesday they start using the system without pretty much understanding where they got themselves into. So it's not the best approach to treat the most valuable asset of the company when moving through the change. So with all of that, I just want to wish our partners actually and the customers to put a little bit more effort into the happy people.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what we wanted to share with Agnė today. We want to thank for you listening in. I'm sure that some of the things you have already heard, some of the things are not new, but it's better to repeat 100 times and not to forget that only time when you need it, right? So we in Companion aspire to share our knowledge and our experience. So therefore we hope that you're gonna come in next time to listen in. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.